I don't have a lot today, but I just wanted to pop in and say hi, tell you, quickly about my trip to New York. Hey Fabulous Fiber friends, my name is Karen and I am your host of the KD Gecko Knits YouTube channel. Who's this? He was an impulse purchase. Our first Yorkshire Terrier. His name was Renard and he lived to be just shy of 17. He died about 2 or 3 years ago. And he was an impulse purchase while we were vacationing in Paris in the year 2000, July of 2000. Some of you know, if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I was just in New York with my husband. We went to visit his 97-year-old aunt. While there, we couldn't resist this little guy. Boson, look in the camera. My husband is a scientist, a physicist, and so we named this little guy Boson. Boson, for those of you who are interested, I'm sure you're not. Boson is an elementary particle, and that's all I'm going to say because I don't know enough about physics. If you're interested, you can look it up. So we named him Boson because we thought it was a very big name for such a tiny little guy. And he's 13 weeks old. So I'm going to put this little tyke down. Those of you who follow me on Instagram saw that I finished yet another Shelley summer tee by getting pearly with it, Nancy. And this one I used Asylum Fibers. And oh my God, I love this colorway. They're my purples and blues. I'm very partial. If you look on my Ravelry page, you will see a lot of blue, like teal blue, dark blues, purples, purple and blue and teal combinations, because that's my jam, as some of you say. And so I fell in love with this yarn, and Stephanie had posted something on Instagram. Maybe she was doing either this pattern or Nancy's last pattern, My Boy Lollipop. Anyway, I fell in love with the yarn and I just had to buy it. So if you haven't checked out Stephanie at Asylum Fibers, if you haven't checked out a yarn, do. The colors are really just super groovy. And this one has a little silver stellina. I'm partial to silver because, as I've said before, I'm a cool complected person, so silver is a better color on me than gold. Although there's so many beautiful golds, but they're not as flattering on my complexion. I wish they were, but they're not. But I love silver, and so that's the way I went with the silver stellina. It's called Silver Goose. This is a DK weight yarn. I will put all the information and link below, but check it out. It's really just so beautiful. Knits up. It's DK, so this pattern, if you haven't made it, make it. It's super easy, and it's great summer knitting and wearing. And I have to check out my little guy and see what he's doing. Something I forgot to mention, I don't want to say too much about this top because I've talked about it on a couple of episodes already. So I do want to mention something. These are reversible, right? It doesn't matter which side you wear, they're exactly the same, the front and back. However, I'm a little weird or anal or crazy or whatever you want to call it. I like my back to be my back and my front to be my front. Why? Don't ask me. It's just, that's the way I am. So what I did on this particular version, which you've seen before, and I forgot to mention that on this version as well, that I did that slip stitch crochet and I decreased a few stitches to minimize these, right? These little wavy portions of the neckline in the front and the back. So what I did also while doing the slip stitch crochet is I put 3 little pearls to differentiate the front from the back. I'm going to come up close. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Let's check it out. Oh, okay. See my 3 little pearls there? So that way I know my front from my back. And don't ask me why, it's just my thing, I guess. I'm just crazy like that. But I also want to show you guys something. When I was in New York, oh my God, you guys, I forgot to tell you. While in New York, and those of you that follow me on Instagram know already that I set up a little knit night with some of my knit Yorkers. And first of all, my husband and I wanted to see a couple of exhibits at the Met. And they had a really cool, I'm going to insert some video and hopefully it's okay because the music I recorded and it's from the Beatles and Joan Jett and some others. Went to the Met with a friend who is a New Yorker. She works in the city, and her daughter who's 13, and we've known this woman for about 13 years, maybe 14. She works in hotel management, and so we've known her for years and years. And so we hung out that day and went to the Met and took a walk through the park and stopped and had lemonade, and that was lovely. And then we all walked over to PJ Clark's, where we met Stephanie from Asylum Fibers, Corrado Lark, the designer, Shamika, who is very big in the knit world, as you know, and she also did, was it for Asylum Fibers, Embrace Your Crazy? I think that was, she made a pin, which I showed you guys a long time ago when I was at Vogue Knitting Live in New York in January. I met Shamika and I bought one of her pins. And then, and then Nancy of Getting Pearly with It, and then Zoya, a New Yorker, who's also very involved in the New York knit scene. And so we all had, burgers and chatted and visited and did a little knitting. And what was really cool is the waitress, at first, she's looking at us like, what are they doing? They're knitting here, And then she said, oh my God, that is so cool. So I hope, I encouraged her to take it up. She said her mother knit and she would love to knit, and I guess she has an 11-year-old daughter and she would love the daughter to learn to knit. And so we talked about Nancy and Bryant Park and how they have free knitting and crochet and all of that. And so hopefully that young woman will go with her daughter and go to Bryant Park, and Nancy can teach them to knit and or crochet. So we had a lovely visit. I didn't really take, because it was just a social visit, I didn't take much in the way of pictures or video. I have a little bit, I'll put it in. You may have seen it on Instagram, but for those of you who haven't, I'll just insert it quickly here.
Why do people like stalking it in the round? It's killing me.
So that was a fun trip in New York. As you guys know, I love New York. I've been 4 times already this year, 4 times. And then of course I'll be back in October for Rhinebeck, and I'm so looking forward to that. There's so many more people I want to meet, and I want the experience. But I was so bummed. When the tickets went on sale for India Untangled, they were going on sale at 12 noon Eastern Time. I sat at my computer from 10 minutes to 12, which was actually 10 minutes to 9 o'clock West Coast time. And I kept trying, and I kept trying, thinking, well, what if my computer clock is off, which I know it won't be because I think it goes by the atomic clock or something. And I kept trying and trying and trying, and then I missed it. And then I said, oh my God, what's happening? So I texted Christy Glass, and I said, oh my God, I can't get a ticket. And she said, oh, their system crashed. Try again. And I kept trying and trying, and anyway, I never got. Well, I didn't get the tickets for the morning, which I really wanted. but I did get them for the afternoon. So if any of you are there from 4 to 6, if you have tickets from 4 to 6, comment below and come up and say hello. I would love to meet you. It'll be my first Rhinebeck, and I'm so excited. I'm beyond excited. That will be my next New York trip. Although I probably won't make it into the city that time. It'll just be a Rhinebeck visit. So what else can I say? Oh, let me get the other, I will put on the other top. No, before I do, hold on. Check these out. Look at these neon pants. Woohoo! Here you go. Look at these buttons. Oh my God. These pants, I couldn't resist. Alice and Olivia, they are just super cool, and they look great with this top. And actually, I wore this that day. I wore this Shelley top, and that looks really cool too, right? I'm not sure which, this one might even look better. With the pants. Maybe it does. I don't know. Let me look. I've got a mirror here. So these are super groovy. They're just straight-legged, high-waisted pants. And that is what that will look like. So those are my neon pants. They're very exciting. Okay, this is my 4th Shelley summer tee. And this one, I did not do the little beads to differentiate the front from the back because this is worsted weight yarn. I didn't have beads that would fit over the yarn. So I'm not going to worry about it for this one. This top I made with a Noro Tokanitsu. I'll insert it below. It's a Noro cotton rayon and I think a little bit of silk yarn. It's really classified as a worsted weight yarn. But so I went up a needle size, and it really didn't, it's not really that much looser than the other ones that I knit with the correct needle size to get gauge. So I don't know why that is, but anyway, so I think you can actually knit this top with a light worsted weight, probably. You can get away with it. And I think too, because this was cotton rayon, I decided, you know, it wasn't a wool, and so I didn't worry so much about how it would lay. It's still, you know, it still has a nice drape to it, and it's loosey-goosey and airy. So if you have some of this yarn, the Noro yarn, that does not have wool in it, although you could probably use the wool, but maybe it'd be too hot, right, for summer. But this was the cotton rayon, and so this turned out really well. This is my 4th Shelley summer tee, and you know, they're so fun and fast. I'm thinking I may make another one, and then I don't know. I want to modify it somehow. I'm not sure. So maybe I'll only do it so far, and then do a stockinette or a little cabling. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll play with it a little. We'll see what happens. And I think that's about it today, you guys. Just fast and furious. Okay, so this is little baby Boson, who you may be seeing a bit of over the next few episodes. And here's his big, look at this. This toy is about the same, almost, well, not quite. The toy is almost as big as he is. You like your little toy Boson? Baby Boson. The other dogs have not adjusted to him yet. They aren't sure what to make of him. I don't know if they think he's a little rat or a rabbit or, yes, what a good boy. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.